Malta is an archipelago in the central Mediterranean, in its eastern basin, some 80 kilometers from southern Italy across the Malta Channel. Only the three largest islands, Malta, Gozo, Godix, and Kemuna, are inhabited. The islands of the archipelago lie on the Malta Plateau, a shallow shelf formed from the high points of a land bridge between Sicily and North Africa that became isolated as sea levels rose after the last ice age. The archipelago is located on the African tectonic plate. Malta was considered an island of North Africa for centuries. Numerous bays along the indented coastline of the islands provide good harbors. The landscape consists of low hills with terraced fields. The highest point in Malta is Ta di Medric, at 253 meters, near Dingley. Although there are some small rivers at times of high rainfall, there are no permanent rivers or lakes on Malta. However, some watercourses have fresh water running all year round at Barraja near Ras Ir Rahab, at El Imtalib and San Martin, and at Lunsjata Valley in Gozo. Phytogeographically, Malta belongs to the Liguro-Tyrrhenian province of the Mediterranean region within the Boreal Kingdom. According to the WWF, the territory of Malta belongs to the terrestrial ecoregion of Tyrrhenian Adriatic sclerophyllous and mixed forests. Malta has a Mediterranean climate, Köppen climate classification CSA, with mild winters and hot summers, hotter in the inland areas. Rain occurs mainly in autumn and winter, with summer being generally dry. The average yearly temperature is around 23 degrees Celsius during the day and 15.5 degrees Celsius at night. In the coldest month, January, the typical maximum temperature ranges from 12 to 18 degrees Celsius during the day and minimum 6 to 12 degrees Celsius at night. In the warmest month, August, the typical maximum temperature ranges from 28 to 34 degrees Celsius during the day and minimum 20 to 24 degrees Celsius at night. All capitals in the continent of Europe, Valletta, the capital of Malta, has the warmest winters, with average temperatures of around 15 to 16 degrees Celsius during the day and 9 to 10 degrees Celsius at night in the period January to February. In March and December, average temperatures are around 17 degrees Celsius during the day and 11 degrees Celsius at night. Large fluctuations in temperature are rare. Snow is very rare on the island, although various snowfalls have been recorded in the last century, the last one reported in various locations across Malta in 2014. The average annual sea temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, from 15 to 16 degrees Celsius in February to 26 degrees Celsius in August. In the 6 months, from June to November, the average sea temperature exceeds 20 degrees Celsius. The annual average relative humidity is high, averaging 75%, ranging from 65% in July, morning, 78% evening, 53%, to 80% in December, morning, 83% evening, 73%. Sunshine duration hours total around 3,000 per year, from an average 5.2 hours of sunshine duration per day in December to an average above 12 hours in July. This is about double that of cities in the northern half of Europe. For comparison, London 1,461. However, in winter it has up to 4 times more sunshine. For comparison, in December, London has 37 hours of sunshine whereas Malta has above 160. The Maltese Islands are home to a wide diversity of indigenous, sub-endemic and endemic plants. They feature many traits typical of a Mediterranean climate, such as drought resistance. The most common indigenous trees on the islands are olive. The flora and biodiversity of Malta is severely endangered by habitat loss, invasive species and human intervention. According to Eurostat, Malta is composed of two larger urban zones nominally referred to as Valletta, the main island of Malta, and Gozo. The main urban area covers the entire main island, with a population of around 400,000. The core of the urban area, the greater city of Valletta, has a population of 205,768. According to the data from 2020 by Eurostat, the functional urban area and metropolitan region covered the whole island and has a population of 480,134. According to the United Nations, about 95% of the area of Malta is urban and the number grows every year. Also, according to the results of ESPON and EU Commission studies, the whole territory of Malta constitutes a single urban region. Occasionally in books, government publications and documents, and in some international institutions, Malta is referred to as a city-state. Sometimes Malta is listed in rankings concerning cities or metropolitan areas. Also, the Maltese coat of arms bears a mural crown described as representing the fortifications of Malta and denoting a city-state Malta, with area of 316 square kilometers and population of over 0.5 million, is one of the most densely populated countries worldwide. WHO reassigned the Islands and Small States Institute in Malta on the 29th of April 2022 as a collaborating center that included heavy work on topics like the development of policy recommendations on building health system resilience in small states. The interrelationship between tourism, health systems and sustainability, with a focus on islands and small countries, through a planetary health and equity approach and the development of a toolkit on health information, digital health and evidence generation in small states. Maltese architecture has been influenced by many different Mediterranean cultures and British architecture over its history. The first settlers on the island constructed Gigantia, one of the oldest man-made freestanding structures in the world. The Neolithic temple builders, 3800–2500 BC, endowed the numerous temples of Malta and Gozo with intricate bas-relief designs, including spirals evocative of the tree of life and animal portraits, designs painted in red ochre, ceramics, and a vast collection of human-form sculptures, particularly the Venus of Malta. These can be viewed at the temples themselves, most notably, the Hypogeum and Tarxan temples, and at the National Museum of Archaeology in Valletta. Malta's temples such as Imnidra are full of history and have a story behind them. Malta is currently undergoing several large-scale building projects, while areas such as the Valletta waterfront and Tigné Point have been or are being renovated. The Roman period introduced highly decorative mosaic floors, marble colonnades, and classical statuary, remnants of which are beautifully preserved and presented in the Roman Domus, a country villa just outside the walls of Medina. The early Christian frescoes that decorate the catacombs beneath Malta reveal a propensity for Eastern, Byzantine tastes. These tastes continued to inform the endeavors of medieval Maltese artists, but they were increasingly influenced by the Romanesque and Southern Gothic movements.